I'm going to play a clip for you now of Republican Congressman Tony Gonzales, who represents Uvalde, Texas. He said the issue here is mental health. Now, we're going to play the clip, and then I'm going to specifically tell you why it's pathetic for Tony Gonzales to be talking about this. Take a look.
The root of a lot of these issues is mental health, and this has been evident for a long time in this country. There is an evil that is growing, that is rising, that we have to curb, and part of that is mental health. COVID certainly didn't help.
Okay, the root of the issue is mental health, and COVID didn't help. The America doesn't have a particularly worse mental health crisis than the rest of the free world. We have a gun culture problem where people see guns as a solution to problems. That's a real problem. We have super easy access to guns in many states and not enough access to mental health treatment. But I looked into Tony Gonzales. Tony Gonzales has regularly voted against improving health care, which would include access to mental health. Tony Gonzales voted no on the Women's Health Protection Act of 2021. In June of 2020, Tony Gonzales voted against expanding the Affordable Care Act. Oh, it's mental illness. But he voted against increasing access to mental health treatment. In December of 2019, Tony Gonzales voted against allowing the federal government to negotiate lower prescription drug prices. In May of 2019, Tony Gonzales voted against lowering prescription drug costs. I could go on. And by the way, in February of 2019, Tony Gonzales voted against giving law enforcement agencies more time to do background checks for gun sales. And he voted against requiring background checks for all firearms sales. And this is why I said yesterday, when a Republican or anyone says this is about mental illness, ask what legislation they supported or opposed when it comes to access to health care. Because this guy is now saying the problem is everything but guns, but he voted against expanding access to health care multiple times. He voted against simply give law enforcement more time to do the background checks when they are actually indicated in certain states. No, this guy wants to point to anything that's not guns, even if his own voting record tells us he doesn't actually take those things seriously. One of our sponsors today is Helix Sleep, and it's a sponsor I'm thrilled about because I sleep on a Helix mattress at home. And it's just the perfect mattress. One of the best things about Helix is you don't have to guess which mattress do I need, which one will be good for me. You take their famous sleep quiz on their website. You tell them your body type, your sleeping position, your back pain issues you might have, and they will pair you with a mattress that will be perfect for you. I took the sleep quiz. The mattress they suggested was exactly what I needed. I often get too hot at night. The mattress keeps me cool. It's not too soft. It's not too firm. The texture is right. And I've just been getting way better sleep. You only buy a mattress every decade or so. Don't get stuck with something that's not perfect for you. And all Helix mattresses come with a 10-year warranty, and they'll even come to your house and pick it up within 100 days if you don't love it. But I think you will. For a limited time, Helix is offering up to $350 off all mattress orders plus 2 free pillows at helixsleep.com/Pacman. It's the biggest discount they've ever offered. The link is down below.